Greetings from IDEF 2025, folks. Organized by the Turkish Armed Forces Foundation. It's held every 2 years. This year it's being held in Istanbul. IDEF, along with Saha Expo, is the biggest defense and aviation fair in Turkey, but perhaps in the world. That is per number of visitors and per attending companies. Much of the fair appears like your standard defense and aerospace fair. You know, companies, both Turkish and international, bringing their wares, some of them proven and rolled out in mass production, marketed around the world, etc. But also some of their newer platforms or even some of their things under development. And there were some highlight news and products and services. What were they? Let's take a look. I'm standing in front of the pavilions of another one of Turkey's points of pride, Roketsan, which literally means rocket industries. One of Roketsan's main products is the highlight of IDEF. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the ballistic missile Typhoon Block 4. It is big, it is tall, it is very fast, and it's very heavy. With a range of 600 kilometers, though some Turkish media outlets say that's probably more, Typhoon is Turkey's first hypersonic missile. That is, it can go at Mach 5 or more. Another major highlight came from STM. STM stands for Defense Technologies Engineering Corporation. It's a state-owned company that has been at the forefront of designing some of the most important naval platforms that Turkey has put to sea in recent years. Among them is providing support to the Turkish Navy's design office, which put out the first vessels in Turkey's National Warship Project, biennial. That led to the other-class corvettes and the IDEF-class frigates, and more are on their way. I mean, look at all those weapons and radars and sensors, folks. Aren't they a sight to behold? STM also designed the replenishment and support ships that Turkey has built for Pakistan and is now also building for NATO ally Portugal. So at IDEF, STM unveiled a smaller fast attack craft, FAC. It's got a displacement of only 700 tons, which is quite small compared to the 2,400 tons of the other class corvettes or the 3,000 tons of the I-class frigates. But don't let this baby size fool you, folks. Except for landing a chopper, the yet unnamed FAC comes with a lot of the same bells and whistles as you would find on the biennials. So it can both protect the Turkish coastline as well as keep an eye on friendlies and adversaries, but doing so with a very small footprint. By the way, I've written about IDEF for the news website Al Monitor, along with other impressive developments in the Turkish defense industry space and, of course, the Turkish Armed Forces. Links in the description. On that note, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content. The other major highlight from IDEF was Turkey's prestige project, the national 5th gen stealth fighter Kaan. Indonesia, which has had trouble as a junior partner to South Korea's Boromea project, signed a deal with Turkish Aerospace Industries, the main builder, the main producer of the Kaan, to procure 48 units by 2035. This represents the first export deal for Kaan, often dubbed Turkey's War of Independence in aviation, because Turkey has been under a lot of sanctions by its NATO allies. As I said, this is one of the two biggest events in the Turkish defense and aerospace calendar. And while I'm dressed for the occasion, I definitely wasn't dressed for the weather. Today was about very humid, 37 degrees Celsius. I think that's like plus 100 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you who measure weather and temperature in freedom measurements. I mean, honestly, it was so crazy. I was like in that scene in that movie, Bedazzled, with Brandon Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley, you know, where Brandon Fraser's character at one point, he plays this very tall, big, but not very smart basketball player. And, you know, he's just constantly sweating, pretty much spraying water out of his head and forehead. At one point, I was like that, especially on my way here. Now, did that temperature stop me from going to the grounds of the nearby Atatürk Airport and checking out some old friends, like the F-16 Fighting Falcon or the F-4E Phantom, or Baba Phantom, as we call it? No. I had a great time saying hi to these venerable servants of the Turkish Air Force. Speaking of the skies, it looks like the Baba is finally going to get its chance at retirement after nearly 50 years of service. During IDEF, Turkey signed an agreement with the United Kingdom to obtain 40 Eurofighter Typhoons produced by the European consortium that also includes Germany, Spain, and Italy. Until the arrival of the Kaans and the jet trainer and fast attack Hurjets, or if Ankara and Washington can find a way for Turkey's return to the F-35 program, the Eurofighters will be a very nice stopgap measure until we Turks make our way into the 5th Gen Club in the 2030s. All right, that's it, folks. If you have any questions or thoughts, please write them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.